That's weird. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to watch Wednesday, You Reap What You Woe, episode 5. I see that we get some more of the Adamses come in. I saw them on the thumbnail for this. Poor Eugene. They made it look like he was possibly dead, killed by the monster. I maintain that that would be a seriously dark turn to kill off a character like that. It would seem kind of inconsistent with the tone of the show in general, but they have veered into weird directions a little bit. So maybe they killed him. I'm gonna hope that he gets saved and is just in the hospital. Okay, let's go.
How well do we really know our parents? Take my father. I've always considered him an open book.
Oh yeah, she has this arrest history.
But when he was a student, he was accused of a murder that took place right up there. Which leads me to wonder, what really happened that stormy night 32 years ago?
Ooh, are we flashing back? Without finding out what happens to Eugene? Are they gonna do this to us? He looks guilty.
I don't like to tell tales, Sheriff Walker, but it's all Morticia Frump's fault.
Oh, wow. This is gonna be good.
I don't know what to say, Gomez. Seeing you in handcuffs, accused of murder. I've never loved you more.
All right.
Interesting. Out of Mia.
The fetish air of teenage angst.
He's so fat.
I hope Wednesday's happy to see us. I left a dozen messages on her crystal ball, still no reply.
Fret not, my plumnet Cupid. I'm sure she's dying to see us.
You can leave messages on a crystal ball.
I realize most of you have heard about the unfortunate incident involving one of our students. But I'm happy to report that Eugene is on the mend and is expected to make a full recovery. So let's focus on the positive and make this Parents' Weekend our very best yet.
I wonder what Eugene's...
Trying a coma.
There we go.
You're his friend, and the reason he's in the hospital. That is not your fault, okay? The monster hasn't attacked anyone in the past week. Maybe you finally scared it off.
Or maybe it went into hiding to avoid this weekend.
Well, it's like Parents' Week.
I knew I should have worn my plague mask.
What is Pugsley eating?
To look at my family. Talk about toxic pack mentality. I give my mom 30 seconds before her judgy claws come out. Let's get this over with.
Oh, how we miss those accusing eyes and youthful sneer.
Those accusing eyes. Indeed.
I thought Thing was filling you in on my every move. I uncovered your feeble subterfuge almost immediately.
Does he still have all his fingers?
Relax. I haven't snapped any of his digits. Since you've abandoned me here, I've been hunted, haunted, and the target of an attempted murder.
She's gonna be like...
Ah, nevermore. I love you so.
Yeah.
Let me look at you. Not been waxing?
3 seconds. That's a personal best.
Are you feeling well? You're looking a touch anemic. Have you been eating enough red meat?
It's good to see you too, Mom.
Guessing your dad's no-show again this year?
Yeah. I got a text this morning. You?
Gabrielle hasn't shown her face since I started here. Probably sunning herself somewhere in the Seychelles.
My darling daughter.
She's there.
Wouldn't miss this for the world.
Bianca looks scared.
Our old yearbook.
She ripped the picture out of it.
Oh, don't be so modest. You always filled a room with your presence, like a stately sequoia tree. And I guess that would make you the lumberjack. Your Judy Garland impression was a dead ringer.
Sounds positively suicidal.
Oh, my picture's gone. Really? Oh, that is odd.
Oh, yeah, she hates her.
Wednesday's assimilation has been rocky at best.
Because I refuse to embrace the culture of dishonesty and denial permeating the school. Starting with the monster that killed Rowan and put Eugene in the ICU.
Apparently her therapist feels she hasn't been very open to the process.
I'm not a lab rat.
Dr. Kimbert and I have spoken, and we both agree it would be most beneficial for you all to attend a family session this weekend.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I thought that might be your reaction, but I'm certain your parents can see the wisdom in it. We're only here for the weekend.
What can it hurt? I mean, to be honest, I've always been a big fan of head shrinking.
It's not that kind of head shrinking.
That is disappointing. But anything for our little girl.
It's pretty funny seeing their dynamic.
You make sure they search that cave for any sign of that creature. And then follow up at the lab. I want the DNA results on that claw. Son of a bitch.
What's wrong?
It's hard to stomach a murderer wandering around town scot-free.
At least they care enough about Wednesday to go to therapy with her.
I'm not comfortable dredging up the family past with some complete stranger.
You think it's easy for me to sit there and talk about my crap?
I got a lot on my plate right now, bud. Tape off the scene, I'll be right there.
Dad, you okay? What's going on?
You know Reggie, the local coroner? He just blew his brains out.
What? The guy we saw last episode?
Who wants to start? Maybe we can discuss what it's like having Wednesday away from home.
I mean, for me, it's been hard not having Wednesday around.
Oh, Pugsley.
I never thought I'd miss being waterboarded so much.
Morticia? Gomez? How have you been coping?
It's been torture for us, too.
Fortunately, my brother Fester's rag fits two people. Querida mía.
Enough! I think it's high time my parents faced the music. It seems they've been lying to me. Murderous secrets that need to be addressed. Who was Garrett Gates and why are you accused of murdering him?
Whoa. Those charges were dropped.
Pugsley liked that.
Local sheriff doesn't seem too convinced.
This is neither the time nor the place.
Actually, this is exactly the place.
I refuse to debate a decades-old witch hunt with you right now.
If you refuse to tell me the truth, I'll just have to excavate it myself.
Thanks for the candy.
Actually, that's potpourri. Why don't you take the bowl?
Pugsley's just eating potpourri.
How could you ambush your father like that?
You insisted I go to this school. Did you really think I wouldn't find out your secret?
You don't know the full story. Your father did nothing wrong.
I'll be the judge of that.
Potpourri?
Well, Wednesday's not the only person with communication issues in this mother-daughter relationship.
I haven't come here to fight, Brandy Jane.
My name is Bianca. New name, new life.
It's time to come home.
That place was never my home.
Gideon said you'd resist.
Don't say that man's name to me.
That is no way to talk about your stepfather.
You actually married him.
He wants you to come home.
Goodbye, Ma.
My siren song is drying up. The wrong people are starting to ask questions. This wasn't a request.
And if I refuse?
Then everybody here's gonna know how you sirened your way into Nevermore.
I finally make something of myself and you want to destroy it.
You haven't made squat, Bianca. You're just scamming a higher class of people, but they're not your friends. You got until the end of the weekend to say your goodbyes.
So we don't know too much about the siren mythology as it's being presented in the show.
Thanks for keeping an eye on him. Any updates? He didn't deserve this. I should be in that bed. Why did you go without me?
You must be Wednesday. Eugene's moms, Sue and Janet.
You were all he could talk about lately. He was so happy you joined the Hummers.
Well, I brought him some honey.
Eugene loves those dang bees like they're his kids. His fuzzy, fuzzy babies.
His fuzzy buzzy babies.
I just saw Doc last week. He's planning a cruise with his wife. He seemed all excited about retirement.
Camera was obscured. Black bubblegum.
He didn't kill himself.
Suicide note says he felt guilty about an old case. Says he covered it up, faked the coroner's report, and has been living with that guilt for all these years. Garrett Gates?
I've been waiting 30 years to put away his murderer. I always thought they were covering up the truth. Now I got my proof.
Interesting. Whoa. She made that look cool. Kind of looks like Arcada. It's gonna be Garrett Gates' tombstone. Yeah. So, Weems said they were fighting over Morticia.
My appetite eludes me, Mother. The same way the truth eludes you.
We need to tell her.
She'll never believe us. We must stay strong and hope that something more morbid comes along to distract her.
That's not gonna happen.
Have you wolfed out yet?
No.
Well, that is a disappointment.
That's me. Huge disappointment.
Oh. Damn werewolves. So judgmental of their own children.
Can I ask what this is about, Sheriff?
Is he gonna arrest Gomez?
How can I help you, Sheriff?
You're under arrest for the murder of Garrett Gates.
Dad?
Give the right to an attorney. I cannot afford one. One will be appointed for you.
Yeah, they gotta tell her what's up. I mean,
His infatuation turned into obsession, and he started stalking her.
Why didn't you call the police?
We tried, but his family were the oldest and richest in Jericho. Garrett's father, an outcast, hating bigot, was furious that your mother had accused his only son. It all came to a head the night of the Raven dance.
okay.
Your mother now. His twisted love for your mother had made him insane.
Go! Get out of here! He won't hurt me! Garrett, no! Stop!
Driven by jealousy and hate, Garrett was unstoppable. When I saw the sword, my survival instinct kicked in. It was a terrible accident.
Alright, so he did kill him.
If I'm being objective, his confession sounds entirely plausible, delivered with the perfect degree of sincerity. Perhaps my father is exactly what he says.
Thank you for being so honest with me.
But then there's the matter of his tells. The way he smooths his mustache. The way he delivers a comforting wink. I've been playing Russian roulette with him since I was 12.
I'm sorry. I wasn't a better father.
Could we please do without the overt display of emotion?
I know they make you feel uncomfortable.
How many fathers hand their daughter a fencing blade when she's 5 years old?
Your saber strokes were an essay in perfection.
Or teach her how to swim with sharks?
They found you as cold-blooded as I do.
The point I'm trying to make is you taught me how to be strong and independent. How to navigate myself in a world full of treachery and prejudice. You are the reason I understand how imperative it is that I never lose sight of myself. So as far as fatherhood goes, I'd say you've been more than adequate.
Gracias, Wednesday.
We need to talk.
How the hell did you get in?
My father did not kill Garrett Gates. Don't you find the timing a tad bit convenient? The coroner kills himself out of remorse for a decades-old murder case the very weekend my father, your prime suspect, deigns to return to town.
All I see is a guilty man who's finally going to pay for his crime.
How are you failing to see that someone is desperately trying to derail my investigation? And I gave you the DNA evidence. Did you even bother to test it?
Here. DNA results. Inconclusive.
Whoever hurt Eugene also murdered the coroner. Someone is trying to throw me off my game. This is all a distraction.
No. Garrett Gates' family deserves closure.
What happened to them?
His mother hung herself in the backyard, his father drank himself to an early grave, and even his little sister didn't escape. She was orphaned, sent overseas, ended up drowning.
So he was lying, those Wednesday things.
I brought you a gift.
That's so sweet. You didn't have to get me anything.
I just want you to know that all I want is the very best for you.
What are these?
Brochures for summer camp.
These aren't just ordinary summer camps. These are camps for lycanthropy conversion?
No need to be dramatic, Enid.
You want to send me to conversion therapy for werewolves?
Don't you want to wolf out and finally be normal, honey?
Conversion therapy for werewolves.
Stop trying to be nice. Doesn't suit you.
Father packed your favorite bait.
Oh, what will it be?
What'll happen to him now?
After he's sentenced, he'll be sent to a state penitentiary where he'll lose his mind being separated from Mother.
I always thought I'd be the first one in the family behind bars.
Lurch and I had a bet going. Let's see if the fish are biting. It's quite a catch.
If anyone can figure out who really committed the crime, it's you.
We both know Mother will be falling apart. Which means we have to be strong. And by we, I mean you. Where is Mother anyway?
She said she wanted to be alone. Somewhere where no one would find her.
So, we believe that
Hello, Wednesday.
Gomez didn't actually kill
It didn't take long.
that guy.
Actually, why would you send me somewhere where I could only ever exist in your shadow?
It's not a competition, Wednesday.
Everything is a competition, Mother.
Our mission was to protect outcasts from harm and bigotry. In fact, the group was started by an ancestor of your father's from Mexico.
Goody.
She was the one who killed Joseph Craigstone. The Nightshades were her secret but deadly answer to his oppression. I know why you've come here, Wednesday.
Fascinating.
Father didn't kill Garrett Gates, did he?
No. By the time I made it up the stairs, I
Good.
found your father fighting for his life. It was terrifying.
Garrett, no!
I'll never forget the way he looked at me. He was even foaming at the mouth. It was like I was staring into the eyes of a rabid beast. Your father was so calm and brave.
Tish, you need to leave right now. Go to your room and lock the door. You were never here. You understand me? Morticia, go.
Your father took the blame in order to protect me, but I knew someday this would come back to haunt us. I've never seen someone so blinded by rage.
Or maybe it wasn't rage at all. Foaming saliva, dilated pupils, mental confusion. What are those all textbook symptoms of?
But how can that be?
There's only one way to find out.
This reminds me of when you got your first grave-digging kid. You were so happy you nearly smiled.
Our first grave digging kid. Oh, that's weird.
Hello, Garrett.
Guess there's gonna be an Addams family reunion in lockup tonight. You're both under arrest.
Get comfortable. Not even the long arm of the law could keep us apart.
At least we'll have one last night together.
I've seen jackals with more self-control than you two.
Neither one of you are strong enough to serve hard time. And thanks to me, you won't have to. I borrowed it from Garrett.
He died from nightshade poisoning. The remarkable preservation of soft tissue and blue tint confirms it.
Garrett was dying.
Before you stabbed him. For once, could you two get off of each other and focus?
kill all those outcasts. Sneak into that dance and spike the punch bowl.
Wednesday.
Oh. So that's how it happened.
What did you see?
The night Garrett died, he had a vial of nightshade poison that broke in his pocket. He wasn't just trying to kill Father. He was going to use the nightshade poison to murder the entire school.
How can they prove this?
Garrett Gates wasn't killed by a stab wound.
That blue sheen is a telltale sign of nightshade poisoning.
But you already knew that, didn't you? You were in charge of the case and covered it up.
Ansel Gates hated outcasts and Nevermore. Garrett went there that night to spike the punch and kill all the kids at that dance. Ansel confessed the whole thing to me in a drunken stupor.
Why did you instruct Dr. Anwar to falsify the autopsy report?
Both Jericho's and Nevermore's reputations would have been trashed.
I think the only reputation you were worried about ruining was your own. I remember Garrett bragging to me that his father had the sheriff in his pocket. 1 year later, you get elected mayor.
I resent your implication.
What I resent is that you could have prevented Garrett's death if you had done your job when I lodged my complaint about him stalking me. But no, men like you have no idea what it feels like not to be believed.
What do you want?
My father will be released immediately with a full and unequivocal apology from the sheriff's office. Do we have a deal?
I mean, so they didn't really have to prove all this because the mayor was in on it. Well, that was helpful to resolve this giant problem that got introduced 15 minutes ago.
I know we've had our difficulties lately, navigating the treacherous shoals of our mother-daughter relationship. But I'm always here for you, Wednesday.
Sometimes when I touch someone or something, I get these very violent glimpses from the past or future. I don't know how to control it.
Our psychic ability resides on the spectrum of who we are. My visions tend to be positive. That makes me a dove.
And for someone like me, who sees the world through a darker lens,
You're a raven, but we're not trained by the living. Somebody from our bloodline reaches out from beyond to help us when we're ready.
Goody has.
Goody was a witch of great strength, but her vengeance pushed her too far, and even she couldn't save herself.
Sorry about all this.
All right, well.
Your daughter and my son have become close.
I pity any boy who gets caught in her viper's gaze, but he must be a good egg. She wouldn't tolerate anything less.
He has his mom to thank for that.
I mean, he's had this lifelong obsession with getting Gomez, and now he's shaking his hand and inviting him to be his in-law. I don't know. They resolved that shit too quickly.
It's decided. 6 weeks at Camp Howell. You'll need to pick which activities.
No, I don't. Because I'm not going. If I'm meant to wolf out, then I'm going to do it on my own timeline and not yours. I just hope that one day you'll finally be able to accept me for who I am.
Very good, Enid.
I'm proud of you, kiddo. You do you.
That's his only line in the whole show. I'm proud of you, kiddo. You do you.
I'll come back and help you under one condition. Wait until the school year is over.
How do I know you won't run away again?
Because you both have too much to lose. But after this, you and Morning Song are out of my life. Forever.
Don't push it.
Didn't quite understand her whole story.
Well,
I knew you didn't have what it takes to be a murderer.
as much as that stings, gracias, my little death trap.
You have your own path to blaze. I don't want to be a stranger in your life, darling. If you need me for anything, I'm only a crystal ball away.
Thank you, Mother.
What? Are they gonna hug?
I did witness Rowan getting murdered that night.
Excuse me?
When Rowan appeared the next morning, it was you. You see, when you participated in the talent show with my mother, not only did you impersonate Judy Garland, you became her.
You're a shapeshifter.
That's a fascinating theory.
I'm curious to find out how Sheriff Galpin feels when I tell him.
You won't tell a soul, Miss Adams. Rowan's father already knows what happened, and he fully supports my decision not to involve the authorities.
Why would he agree to that?
Because Rowan was not in his right mind, and he attempted to murder you twice. His tragic death allowed us to rectify the situation without casting the school or Rowan in an unflattering light. I did what I needed to do to shield the school from controversy and protect its students from harm.
Tell that to Eugene. How are you protecting him?
This episode has a lot of information.
What on earth?
Well, that was insane. So that was crazy, man. It wasn't as good, I don't think, as the last couple, actually, but it was weird because they just took this thing that's been a big backstory mystery, which is Gomez's supposed murder that he committed, and they burned through it, explained it, told the whole story, and then the coroner, I guess, really did kill himself. I kind of don't trust anything that happens in the show. I guess he really did. And then they explained the whole story of Gomez and got him off the hook. Got him arrested, got him off the hook. And now all of that is resolved, apparently. And the sheriff was just like, your daughter's been dating my son. So, alright, that's fine. I guess we didn't need that, you know, story bogging us down for the rest of the show. I guess the big mystery is the monster. And then we also kind of explained Weems is the shapeshifter, which we pretty much knew, and had done that with Rowan. I pretty much assumed that had happened. So now she knows that, so there's the answer to that mystery. I guess what's left is the monster, basically. We don't know what the situation with the monster is. And they also, maybe with him telling Gomez, you know, my daughter, my son and your daughter are getting friendly. That seems to imply that that's the direction they're going to go with this. Which, I don't know. And then that whole story about Morticia being stalked, the issues of like having a stalker. I think it was pretty clear the way these guys were acting in the last episode that they were kind of like, you know, being crappy boys that weren't respecting Wednesday's space, you know. So there's that kind of thing is being thrown on the table, you know, her being stalked, her telling the mayor, you know, you don't know what it's like, you didn't take my stalking seriously. It almost seems like it might be setting up a thing where Xavier plays the role of the bad stalker type, because he is kind of obsessed with Wednesday, if he asked his siren ex-girlfriend to take it away. So maybe he'll be the bad guy and what's-his-face will be the good boyfriend or whatever. Even though I think he was a little bit of a jerk, too. He's no Gomez Adams, that's for sure. Alright, well, that was fun. Dying to figure out, see what happens in the rest of this season. 3 more, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, only 3 more episodes. Alright, like and subscribe. Hit the alerts button. And, see you soon.
Thank you.